For our grammar review this week, we are going to go over verb tenses and how to properly conjugate verbs um, based on the tense that we're looking at. So, the first one we're going to look at is past tense verbs, and that usually tells about something that has already happened. It's pretty self explanatory, it happened in the past. So, to form regular past tense verbs, you're going to start with the base form of the verb. So, when we talk about base form, you can see some examples. 1A is walk, 2A is bike, 3A hurry, and 4A jog. There are specific rules for different types of these base verbs, base form of the verb. So for number one, for most verbs, this is what you're going to follow. You're just going to add ed to the base form. So walk, you add ed, becomes walked. They walked to school last Friday. It's something that happened in the past. Now for number two, this is showing an example of a base form of the verb that ends in e. So to change this to a past tense verb, you're just going to add d. So bike, you just add a d, becomes biked to school last Friday. If the base form ends in the consonant y, you're going to change the y to an I and add ed. So hurry, Hurry, you drop the y, add an I and ed, it becomes hurried. They hurried to school last Friday. And then the final rule to follow is if the base form ends in a short vowel and a consonant, you double the consonant and add ed. So look at the example that's kind of a long instruction for this, but it's actually very simple. So in the word jog, you have a short vowel, the O, you have a consonant, the G. So you're going to double that consonant G. So your past tense of that verb now becomes jogged, Jogged. They jogged to school last Friday. If we move on to present tense verbs, that's either talking about something that is happening right now or something that is known to be true. So if we say grass is green, it's always going to be green for the most part if it's healthy. But that's showing that it is true. So you're also going to use the present tense of that verb. So present tense form of the verb must agree with its subject in number. So first we're going to look at singular subjects, go with singular verbs. So for most singular present tense verbs, you're just going to add an s. So snow, um, singular subject, falls outside my window. Fall is the verb, add s, that becomes the present tense falls. For verbs end in sh, ch, they already end in S, an X, or a Z, you're going to add ES to make it the present tense. So Dylan washes the dishes. You add ES because you have the SH. And then for verbs that end in the consonant Y, again, just like for the past, you're going to change that Y to an I. And this time for present tense, you're going to add ES. Susan carries the boxes to her room. Two verbs that are irregular in the present tense are to be and to have. So those are the infinitives of those verbs, to be, to have. You have to just remember what their form is in the present tense. There's no real trick to it. You just have to know. To be in the present, it changes to is. The soup is too hot. And to have, Aaron has long hair. So to have changes to has. Now, future tense verbs tell you about something that is going to happen in the future. So you're going to add will from future tense of these verbs. Insert will here. So in the example, boys finish later, finish changes to will finish. And see, second example, Tanya will speak at conference. Now, if you look at the IXL examples, we're going to go through just a few of these and look at the expectations for what you need to do as one of your IXL practices this week. So the direction, what tense of the verb it should be. So we're actually doing a lot of the work for you based on the context clues. in the sentence, and then give you the verb, and you just have to give the correct conjugation. So, working for the future tense of the word approach or the verb approach. So, the next time Haley's comment, because it's future, we need to add will approach, and spelling does count, so you need to make sure that you're aware of that. But Haley's comet will approach Earth. The next time it will approach Earth in 2060. Again, looking at future tense, the climbers have taken an alternate. The climbers have taken an alternate route up to the mountain, and because it's future, we need to add that will. Then you have your verb reach the summit by tomorrow evening. Then to the present tense form of the verb. So now we have to look at what is the present tense form of the verb conceal. Because it ends in an L, you're just going to add S. So Ashley's long hair conceals, to make it a present tense, a small scar on the back of her neck. And more for past tense, looking at past tense form of verb recommend, and in a dear no special requirement, you're going to add ed to this verb. So Mabel recommended a book about aviation history because she knows I'm fascinated by airplanes. I hope this video has helped. Please see the example. We'll post the Google slide that I just used in the video. Please, if you do on past, present, or future.